Welcome to Library Out Loud, a conversation about any and all things related to the Spokane County Library District. Library Out Loud is brought to you by the Spokane County Library District and our friends at STCU. Now, here's your host, Jane Baker.
Hello and welcome to Library Out Loud. I'm Jane Baker, the Communication and Development Director for the Spokane County Library District. Joining me today is Carlie Hoffman.
Hello.
Carlie, you're a Library Services Manager, also for the County Library District. And Diane Brown. Diane, you're a librarian, and you're mostly based out of Spokane Valley
Correct.
Library. Thank you for joining me today.
Thank you, Jane.
It's great to have you guys down here. We're going to talk about digital resources. And for a lot of people at the library, or a lot of our members, customers, or patrons, whatever you want to call them, they don't know what that means. What does that mean, a digital resource? And we're not talking any books. Can you describe what you would call a digital resource, Carlie?
I would call a digital resource something that we've paid a price for, a subscription usually. Some of them are paid by book title, if it's something in Overdrive.
Okay.
So it's a subscription resource where you access information, entertainment, magazine articles, and DIY, all kinds of stuff.
Sure.
Online.
Great. So that would be for your average home consumer, maybe like Consumer Reports.
Right.
As an example. Or what's the other one? Ancestry.com.
Yep, that's a very popular
Cool.
one.
Those are two that people can get subscriptions to on their own, but we also have those at the library along with, how many? Countless other digital resources. How many do we have?
I think that right now we don't pay for all of them that I have listed on the website.
Mm-hmm.
Some are just really good resources we want people to know about.
Sure.
But I'm up to 54, I believe.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, 54. Now you mentioned Overdrive. Describe what Overdrive is for our listeners.
Overdrive is an audiobook and an ebook downloadable service. So if you wanted to, for free, get your favorite ebook or a new ebook or audiobook, you just come to our website, put in your library card number, download the book, and it's yours for 2 weeks.
Great. There we go. The Overdrive is for ebooks and audiobooks. But is that the only one we have for ebooks and audiobooks?
No.
No? What else do we have for?
We have Hoopla, which has ebooks, audiobooks, comics, movies, music, television.
Wow. And Hoopla is streaming.
Hoopla is streaming.
So-
It can be downloaded to devices, but
Oh.
not to a computer or laptop.
Oh, okay. Now, you just taught me something new. I didn't know we could download from Hoopla to a device. So let's talk about Hoopla real quick before we get into, how many others? 54? We won't get to all of them.
We don't need to.
We're going to talk about the biggies right here. So Overdrive's a big one for your books and audiobooks. And then Hoopla. Again, Diane, music
Yes,
and latest music.
it is the latest music. I would not be surprised to find an album there on the day it's released.
Sure, and that's usually on Fridays, correct? That we have the new music on Fridays, or is that Tuesdays still? Used to be Tuesdays. I think it's
I
Fridays
get all mixed up now. I have no idea
Sure.
anymore.
But when a new album comes out, it's available often on Hoopla.
Yes.
Right? So music, and you can stream, and movies, and what else did you say?
Television.
TV shows.
And comics.
Comics, wow. And all of that is just for the library card.
Correct.
Great. So those are our two biggies. Are those
Yes.
the two biggest ones, Overdrive and Hoopla? So you can get everything from books and movies and music. And then, of course, I mentioned Consumer Reports and Ancestry.com. But those are the common ones. Let's talk about some of the others if we have 54. What's your favorite one, Carlie?
Oh, geez, on the spot.
Yeah.
My favorite digital resource is a very librarian
Very
question
librarian
to answer.
question.
I really like the Auto Repair Reference Center. Oh, actually, they just changed. It's Automate now.
Automate.
Automate, yep.
Okay.
So that one, you can look up any of car, make, model, year, and it will give you some instructions on how to maintain your car or repair if you have a problem.
So like Saturday morning, if I'm out in the garage and I'm changing the carburetor on my car and I'm a little confused, I'd be able to go to my computer or my phone, my device, whatever, and look it up and look up the make and model of my car, and it would tell me how to change that carburetor.
Yeah, I mean, as long as you know the basics, you still...
Sure.
I couldn't do it.
No, actually, I couldn't either, but I didn't want to corner my husband and put all the pressure on him that he's out working in the garage. But, who knows? Maybe someday I will change a carburetor in a car, if they still have carburetors.
Yeah, even just things like, what fuse do I need
There you
to
go.
replace?
Sure.
Something that I could actually do.
Okay, so we can look that up, and that's great for your weekend mechanics, right?
Yes.
Perfect. And okay, so that's a great one. Auto repair. And what else do we have? Let's talk about another resource. Diane, I'm going to put you on the spot. What's your favorite?
I had time to think about it. CultureGrams.
Oh, that's
Oh, tell me
favorite.
about CultureGrams.
CultureGrams, I love this resource. It's got basic information about not every country in the world, but just about every country in the world.
Really?
So it has some basic information like the gross domestic product, what's the official name of the country. You can listen to the anthem. But it also
wow.
tells you about the people. What style of dress do people wear?
Oh, great.
What are some common greetings? What's the life cycle like? What are some rites of passage? What's dating like? What are family life?
So that kind of gives you all the immersion into a culture and letting it know what it's like. So it's great for travel.
It is.
Yeah.
And there's also a kids edition, which has a slightly different reading level.
Okay.
But still pretty much the same information.
Mm-hmm. So it'd be great for homework or reports
Yes.
or things on different countries of the world. So travel and reports. But now, speaking of travel, we also have Pronunciator. Is that correct?
We do.
That one is language?
Yes.
It is.
Okay, so how many different kinds of languages can you learn?
Geez,
I think there are 80.
Yeah, I can't even remember, I'll be honest. I'll leave it to you because you probably are in it more.
Yeah.
80 different languages.
And one of the things that I really love about Pronunciator is that you can learn a language in a language. So if your native language is Italian
Okay.
and you want to learn Greek, you can learn Greek in Italian without having to translate to English.
Wow, I didn't know that Pronunciator would do that. So this is similar to Rosetta Stone or some of those other subscriptions or things that you can buy, but this is already at the library. So all of these databases are, and I call them databases, they're
okay.
digital resources, are available to the public, and all they need is a library card.
Yep.
So if anybody's ever tried to buy Consumer Reports or subscribe to it, it's very expensive.
Yes.
So this is a great savings for having all of these wonderful resources right at your fingertips, at your device, or your computer at home, or if you don't have that, you can come to the library and do it as well. So just a library card. Tell me some of the other things that we offer. I know a big one that I access a lot is Lynda.com.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so explain what Lynda.com is for somebody who may not know.
Me? It is an online classes, basically. So they're not led by an instructor. We have another resource called Gale Courses where you actually take a class led by an instructor. It's the 6-week class. This is a little different in that it's all video based, but you can take it at your own time, or you can skip videos if you don't want to. Maybe you're coming in midstream, you already know something about Microsoft Excel and you want to come in the middle of it, or you just need to know one aspect of it that you're not sure of. You can watch that single video, or you can take an entire course. And that's great for people who might be thinking about, oh, do I want a career in IT? What does that even involve? Let me take a class. Let me watch some of these videos and see if this is for me. Or they're already in a field and they want to improve their skills or get some sort of certification. Like, look, boss, I finished this course and I'm now able to do another project. Or
I can do that spreadsheet that you asked me to do, right?
Right.
So Lynda.com is a wide variety too. Everything from writing and marketing.
A lot of business courses, a lot of technology courses.
I like to dabble a little bit in photography, so I'm always looking at lynda.com for photography tips. So that's a great one. And lynda.com to purchase on your own is extremely expensive. So this is a super cool resource for residents of Spokane County. And then you mentioned Gale Courses.
Gale Courses,
Talk a little bit about that one. That one's huge, and I don't think it gets enough attention.
Yeah, the courses are a little less tech-based, but there's a lot more of the kind of fun stuff in there. Learning how to play an instrument, or more personal enrichment stuff, how to cook a healthy meal, something like that. I took one on stocks, bonds, and investing.
Really?
Because I didn't know anything about it. So if I'm going to invest it all, let me figure out what I'm supposed to do.
So that's a 6-week course.
Yeah.
All of them are 6-week courses on Gale?
Yes.
Okay, so you sign up and you still kind of go at your own pace in a way.
Yep, you get a lesson every week for 6 weeks. But what's great is you can talk to the instructor, ask questions if you're not sure about something, and there's discussion boards so you can talk to the other students as well.
Wow, yeah, that's great. Now, I did take a Gale course a couple of years ago on travel writing. Just before I went on a vacation, I took that, and then I was able to come back and afterwards write a blog for it. So that was kind of a fun thing to do. So,
and they definitely still have all of those tech courses, basics of how to create an app or how to create a website.
Wow.
So there's that, but there's also early learning courses for teachers. There's healthcare courses if you're interested in getting into the health fields.
Sure. And the great idea. Like you said, if you're thinking about going back to school or maybe trying a different career,
courses.
You can test it out for free that way.
And refreshers. There's a math refresher, grammar refresher.
Yeah.
There's
tons in there.
So great. So what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick break, and then we're going to come back and tell people where to go to access these digital resources, and then we'll talk about some of them that we're featuring for the summer.
Perfect.
So, all right. We'll be right back here on Library Out Loud.
Hi everyone, I'm weather forecaster and assignment anchor at Spokane Talks Online, Colin Pittman, and I am honored to be the host of the new program, Spokane's Youth Spotlight, brought to you by Spokane Talks Online and the Spokesman Review, where we are interviewing and getting to know outstanding youth in our community each month. If you'd like to nominate someone in our community that you think should be recognized, that is doing something great here in the region or has an amazing story, visit SpokaneTalksOnline.com or Spokesman.com and look under Youth Spotlight to nominate. And be sure to tune in each month as we find the best in the Inland Northwest.
Hi, I'm Larry Myers, owner of River Ridge Hardware. Welcome to our garden center here on the corner of Garland and Driscoll. We have fresh plants that come in weekly from all of our local growers. We can make your garden look like our garden. Here at River Ridge, we've been here 30 years. We're your full-service neighborhood hardware store. This is our sprinkler aisle where my knowledgeable staff will help you put together your sprinkler system so it will make your yard lush green for the spring and summer. This is River Ridge Hardware's rental center, where we provide a multitude of equipment for rent for the do-it-yourselfer. Next time you're working on your home or yard this spring and summer, stop by, say hi, and we'll help you get the project done.
See you tomorrow night, and thanks again for taking care of the painting.
I got this.
Bye.
Weekends are made for painting. Let the experts at RADA Paint take care of you.
Hi. This looks amazing.
RADA Paint, over 80 years of quality, tradition, and trust. Find it in every can.
And welcome back to Library Out Loud. I'm Jane Baker, and with me is Carlie Hoffman, Library Services Manager, and Diane Brown, Librarian, both with all three of us in the Spokane County Library District. Thanks for coming down this morning and talking with me about our digital resources. And we were just talking during the break. I had mentioned earlier that I like to access Lynda.com because I have this hobby of photography, and I'm kind of learning that on my own on the side. And Lynda.com is a great resource for that. But also, before I bought my latest camera, I'd gone to Consumer Reports and checked to see, what camera do I want. And you said you do the same thing. In fact, Diane, you said you were standing in Best Buy looking on your phone at Consumer Reports.
Yeah.
What a great resource. Why wouldn't people be doing this, right? You want to get the best stuff. So it can be used for all kinds of things like that.
Yeah, and something that's in Consumer Reports that people, you think, oh, I'm going to go research a product, which is what it's mostly used for. But there's tons of articles in there if you're interested in knowing what the different types of lawnmowers are. It'll explain, oh, this one is better for this type of lawn or that type of lawn, and that's just an example, so I don't know if that's an actual article. But and then also some great tips on fraud prevention,
great.
credit card reports. I mean, there's all kinds of, when they say Consumer Reports, it encompasses a lot of things beyond just the products.
Just the products, and that's good to know because I've only used it for the products. I'll have to go in there and take a look. 54 different digital resources.
Yeah, don't quote me. I mean, you can.
Close enough.
It goes up and down.
Up and down. And I do want to say it's your job actually to make decisions and purchase most of these. So good job. You got some great stuff there. So to get to the digital resources, so for somebody listening who wants to go, say, Consumer Reports or any of them we've talked about, first thing they need to do is go to the website.
Yes, scld.org.
Yep, scld.org, and then at the top right-hand side, along the top navigation, it will say Digital Resources.
Digital Library.
Digital Library. Yes, and it'll say digital. We know that for sure. So you click on that, and it takes you to the page, and it shows you all of the resources, and then whichever one you want to try out, you go into, and then what happens after you click on that?
Most of the products, you just enter your library card number. It'll take you to a page that kind of gives you some brief instructions, and you put in your library card number and you're good to go.
That's it?
Yep, that's it.
That's all there is to it. So if you haven't been there, check it out. Just go click around. Take a few minutes time, and you might discover resources that you had no idea were right there at your fingertips. So let's talk about a few of them that we're featuring in this summer's Engage magazine. This is our programming guide, tells you all the different programs that we have going on through August. So we have a few highlighted in there this time. Let's talk about the first one, Book Psychic. Diane, tell us about Book Psychic.
Book Psychic lets you rate various books, and then it gives you suggestions based on your ratings.
Oh, awesome.
So, say you like Lord of the Rings, and you like Narnia, and you like Harry Potter. You rate all of the books in the series, and it might suggest some more books that are similar to that.
That's nice. Okay.
And that one's kind of cool too, because you can, if you already use a site like Goodreads or Library Thing to track all of the books that you've read, you can import that list into Book Psychic, and then it'll pop out some suggestions to you based on everything you've read.
Based on everything you've read.
Yeah. Oh,
wow.
you might like these. So it's kind of a recommendation engine.
Oh, that's very cool. And that one's called Book Psychic, and again, it's free. And then there's another one, Novelist?
Yes.
Yeah.
Tell me about Novelist. I don't think I've used that one
We
before.
have two. The one featured in there is the adult version, but there's also a Novelist K-8.
Okay.
And that's also a recommendation kind of thing, but it works a little bit differently because you can say, I like action, fast-paced, historical novels, and it'll give you a list of books on those criteria.
Fit that,
Yeah.
that fit the bill there. That's great. And then you just take that list and either check them out on Overdrive and read them immediately, or go to the library.
And there's a link straight to our catalog. So if there's a book that you like, you just click find in catalog, and there you go.
Oh, couldn't be any easier.
No, couldn't be.
Great
Oh.
for finding new authors. If you really like Michael Crichton, you can find some similar authors.
That's nice, because isn't that like one of the number one things that we're asked a lot at the library is, what do I read next?
Yeah, and that's why the K-8's great for kids is a lot of times you need to find something very engaging because you don't want the summer slide where kids aren't reading all summer. You want to keep them engaged, so you're able to choose books based on, you can even put, my kid loves Charlotte's Web. What other books are they going to love because they love Charlotte's Web? So it follows, it might be based because there was talking animals, or because it was a female character lead.
Oh, that's a great resource, especially for the summer, for parents going, well, what are we going to read? Yeah, great. And that one's Novelist. And then there's Select Reads. Tell me about Select Reads.
You want me to?
Sure.
This is a monthly newsletter, and you sign up for whatever kinds of books you want. So when you go to the website, there's some top choices is what you see first. You might say, I want to know about all of the books the library has that are the most popular on gardening, or on there's every fiction genre you can think of, just regular fiction, Christian fiction, romance, everything. And in your email every month you get a list of books that
are suggestions
are suggested to be interested to
That's
you.
a great service.
Yeah, and there's top choices, or you could maybe you just want new books or just ebooks. And there's also a section that's like the other ones. They're like recommendation engines where you can create your own search criteria. Say you want books about cats. So you type in cats, and then you can get a custom newsletter sent to you every time cats is part of the new book list.
That's awesome. That's awesome. They'll keep you up to date on things. As we were talking, I'm reminded of a comic I saw just last week. It was a comic, not a person comic, but a comic strip, I guess you would say. And it showed a young kid looking at their phone, and an older woman saying something about, you kids need to put these devices down and read a book once in a while. And somebody had commented, I saw this on social media, that how do you know that kid wasn't reading a book at the time? Because we have so many digital resources at the library, the kids could very well be at the library when they're looking at those devices.
Yeah, that's
so
true.
There's a lot of things so you guys reminded me of that. So it's a good thing to remember when people these days, and I hate to say these days, but there's a lot of complaining about people who don't look up from their devices, but not all the time are they looking at their devices for bad things. They might be at the library without even, okay. So that commentary aside, let's continue talking about some of these digital resources. We mentioned Overdrive, but there's another one called RB Digital, and I know they've just changed their name. Talk about RB Digital for anybody that may not be familiar with it.
RB Digital has magazines, a lot of different popular magazines, things like People, Reader's Digest, National Geographic.
Oh, great!
And it's like you're looking at the physical item. It's got it's full color. It's got all of the ads. You can flip through and you can search. There's a search feature, so you can search for what you're looking for. You can jump to sections using the table of contents, and it's really nice. And those ones actually will stay with you until you delete them from your checkouts.
From whatever you're reading them on. I know I had checked out a magazine on an iPad shortly after we first got this digital resource, and I could not believe how beautiful it looked. The colors were vibrant, and I still could turn the pages, and it was very exciting to have access to that magazine. So that's great, and it's all the latest magazines too.
It is.
Not old stuff. And we're running short of time, but a real quick one on Biblioboard. Carlie, tell me about Biblioboard.
Biblioboard is it's also an ebook platform, and this contains two different kind of layers. One is called Indie Washington, and that one is self-published authors in Washington State.
Very nice.
That have asked for their ebooks to be included. And what's great about Biblioboard is there's no waiting in line. You get it to your device for as long as you want. So it's not the typical checkout like Overdrive. You
get to keep it as
you
long
get to
as
keep
you
it as long
are
as you
reading.
need to.
Wow.
And the other part of it is called Self-E, and it's a partnership between Biblioboard and Library Journal, which is way too much information other than these were chosen specifically by Library Journal staff as the best of the best as far as self-published.
Self-published, yeah. That's a great avenue for authors, local authors, and things to have.
We recently just put Spokane Writes in there.
That's very nice. Yes. So, what a great access to those type of pieces of work that people have done, and a great thing for authors
and
too.
yeah, if you're an author, you can submit your books.
Submit and be published and available at the library. How cool is that? And, you know, we have just barely scratched the surface on these digital resources. So the best thing we can do is recommend for people to go to scld.org, click on Digital Library, and just explore.
Yes.
Yeah. And if you have questions, come by the library and ask Diane or Carlie or book a librarian, and we're happy to help you and show you how to work all that. So great. Thank you, ladies, for coming down this morning and talking about these great resources that you purchase for the citizens of the county, and we appreciate it, and we'll go explore some more digital stuff. All right, thanks. Okay, until next time, this is Library Out Loud, and we'll see you later.
Library Out Loud is produced in Spokane, Washington by SpokaneTalksOnline.com, which is solely responsible for its content. Ask a question, recommend a guest, and hear this program again online anytime at SpokaneTalksOnline.com. Library Out Loud is brought to you by the Spokane County Library District and STCU. Go visit and explore your local library today.